All right, so welcome fans and friends to the first episode of the SVU Sports Show. This is the athlete edition, and today we have Marcelino Leonardo Jr. Joining us today. So thanks for stopping by today.
Hey, Subtra, my friend.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And this is kind of a new installment. We have kind of the SVU Sports Show where we recap the whole SVU athletic programs and whatnot as a whole. And then this edition is going to be specifically based around athletes, and we're going to dive deep into kind of the Southern Virginia athlete world, analyzing the players, the athlete themselves, and just focusing on each athlete's remarkable story and uncovering what's so captivating about getting athletes out there to play. So Marcelino, we'll just start kind of from the beginning. And can you walk us through, your journey from playing baseball in high school to where you're at now?
Honestly, I mean, I grew up in the Dominican Republic, and we all know that the Dominican is just a paradise for baseball. Every kid out there dreams to play professional baseball, and to win big more than anything. So, in high school, like how things work in the Dominican, you don't necessarily play for high school.
Mm,
You just go to a program and you start practicing and you start developing yourself as a player. And then you have people like scouts from professional leagues that come and watch you play, so you showcase your abilities and so on and so forth. But I feel like everything actually got started when BYU went to the Dominican Republic to play the Dominican Summer League teams. And I was there. I played BYU, so they sat me playing everything, and they found out that I was a member of the church.
hmm
So some of the coaches were like, "Hey, man, would you like to come play college baseball?" And I was like, "I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's an opportunity, and it looks awesome, So I said yes to it, and what do you know? A year later, I already had my visa and all my paperwork ready to go. So I moved to pro with Utah, and I played there for about I played in the fall league, the fall semester, the
hmm
fall little rundown that they have, and then over the spring, I was getting ready to play the season, but I left on my mission.
mm
So I put a stop. I put a stop to baseball for about 2 years and came back, played for 𝒐𝒖𝒕𝒉𝒆𝒓 Community College for a year, and transferred to Southern Virginia, which ended up being a very interesting thing because I had no clue about Southern Virginia and the school at all. I had never heard anything about it.
Right.
So my coach came over to me. He was like, "Hey, Marcy, there's a school in Southern Virginia that it's aligned with your values and everything. I think you would love it to go play baseball out there. But we're about to start the season, so it's gonna be pretty much your choice if you want to go out there. But they are looking for a third baseman."
mm
And I said, "Well, like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm open to any opportunities. All I want to do is to play ball. That's the traditional answer for every ball player out there, right?"
Yep.
So, so I got in contact with the coaches, and they talked to me about how great Southern Virginia is, and how much fun I was going to have, and the opportunities I was going to have to represent the school and to play baseball. So they got me out here, and I got here actually 2 days before classes got started.
Wow.
So I moved in, and everything was just going up so fast, but it was great, man. We had a great season. Fell short of the playoffs last year, but man, getting out here and be able to play baseball with people who are aligned with my values was just an amazing blessing.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And it's kind of fun to hear the journey and kind of how you got there to SVU. And so maybe we'll kind of start in that, I guess, space right now. So you mentioned the values and some of the other things that aligned with your decision into attending Southern Virginia, specifically to play baseball. Were there other factors before you went out there? Like, did you go to visit out there, or was this just based on what the coaches were saying?
Well, it was mostly based on what the coaches were saying because it was such a short time in between, right?
Yep.
Because we have the Christmas break in between semesters, right?
Mm,
And the season in Salt Lake Community College just starts at the end of January,
yeah.
compares to in Division 3 where we start towards the end of February, mid-February type of thing. So I thought about it. I definitely did write about it, and it honestly felt good. I've always been a really easygoing person. I made my decisions, if he's good with Heavenly Father, man, why would I question it?
Yep.
Just go forward and work hard, and and let's say be faithful if you will.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what role, you kind of mentioned the coaches you had at Salt Lake Community College and then now at Southern Virginia. What role have the coaches and coaches staffs, the players, kind of the environment played a role in your time there? Because this is your second, I guess, season there.
Yeah, um uh, so my coaches in Salt Lake, they were really focused on me just learning and understanding the ins and outs of the game, like
Mhm.
what to do in which situations, and how to make the correct decisions, how to be in the right places during certain plays, and so on and so forth. So we worked really, really, really hard with that. That was one of my main focuses, to improve one, my athleticism, and number two, my decision making and making sure I was in the
Mm.
right place at the right time. So I feel like my coaches were pretty much like the key for me to find like that information that I needed in order to know what to focus on. Because sometimes you want to work hard as an athlete, but you know what to focus on. It makes
Yep.
it difficult because if you don't focus on the right things, you could be working in things that you will never use during the game.
Yeah.
And that is really difficult. So when I got here with Coach Schlegg and Coach Bennett and Coach Smith, they just went all out. Okay, so now it's time to execute, right? We all know you worked hard on all these things, and we know that you're doing really well. Now it's time to execute and to go and show how good you are. So it's been really fun just to go about business,
Right.
because Coach Schlegg, he's probably one of the funnest coaches I've ever had. I mean, where can you say that you will have a baseball coach that teaches an institute class,
That's true.
right? And having a coach that is spiritually guided to make the correct choices in times, and to trust him to make those correct choices, it's invaluable. You can't find that anywhere nowadays. So he's guided me a lot, and he's always telling me the little things that I need to focus on. Because sometimes all you need to do is to keep it simple and just work hard. And
Yep.
and he's just so good at just guiding you and just helping you make the right choices. And I think that's why we've been able to be so successful as a team this year, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's been fun to watch. And the teams, I think you're kind of neck and neck there for third place in the division. Got a few, what do you guys have? 4 games left, I think, something like that.
Yes, yes, 4 conference games left.
So yeah, you got a big conference series coming up. Is it Methodist? That's a 3 game stand, or is that 4?
It's a Methodist with a game stand,
Okay.
and one against William Pease on Monday.
Right, right. Okay. So yeah, we got some big games coming up. So as you've kind of jumped into the college, collegiate space playing baseball, I guess what adjustments have you had to make from high school to junior college to now here at D3? Is there been certain adjustments that you've had to make that you weren't, prepared for, maybe you were prepared for?
Oh, I mean, just being honest, the first adjustment I had to make was the language, because
Right.
I had no I couldn't speak any English at all. You
Wow.
know, so that was difficult. So the first thing I focused on really well, that I made sure that I understood what
Mm,
my coaches wanted me to do,
right.
and that I was able to learn and to listen and to pick up on all the little details that go on. So that was the first thing I wanted to do. And number two, I was 245 pounds. So I was quite overweight, and I had to work very, very, very hard to lose weight and to get into a very athletic shape,
Yep.
to be able to play my position, to fill my position in a way in which I was going to be extremely efficient as a middle infielder, a corner infielder, third base, which is what I play, and to be able to support my team in any way possible,
Mhm.
offensively and defensively, right? So those two things were my main focuses. Just moving on from playing the Dominican Republic, right, coming to play junior
Yeah.
college, to be right here in Southern Virginia. But lately, one of my main focuses is being the mental game, right, making sure you're mentally tough, because it's so hard when you're struggling, when you're not doing well,
Oh
when
yeah.
you're not performing at the highest level, because it gets into your mind, and if you let it, it will eat you up and shoot you out.
Yep.
So baseball is one of those sports that you fail more than what you
Oh
succeed.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
you have to make sure that you're mentally tough to handle those situations, to handle adversity,
Hmm.
and move on and figure out ways how to be successful. So that's been one of my main focuses lately. It's been so great. I mean, we had a series against Pfeiffer. We were down 12-0 in the fourth, fifth inning. And we came back to win the game 16-12.
Wow.
You know? So and I feel that speaks to how the whole team is so mentally tough. Like regardless if we're down 12-0,
Hmm.
we're gonna come back and get you because we can go ahead, you know. I hit a three run home run, and then everybody just got going, and all of a sudden the seventh, eighth inning is 12-11. It's like, guys, we're
We
right
got a
here.
we got
Let's
a
go get
chance.
this. We got a chance. So it was, to me, that's been one of the most exciting wins of the season, being able to see the whole team not give up and come on top even when we're down by so many. So it's I feel like that's been my main focus, is like coming from high school or the Dominican, right? Focusing on learning the language, right?
Yes.
My athleticism was number two. And lately it's been just that mental game, developing that mental toughness and resilience.
Yeah. Wow. And that 12-run comeback, that's got to be one of the biggest comebacks I've ever heard of. That's incredible. So congrats there and to the team. And I guess regarding kind of, playing baseball, obviously there's the athlete side, but then also the academic side with being at Southern Virginia. How have you been able to transition to, full time with, playing sports, playing how, 40, 50 games a year, and then also your academics? What's that been like for maybe future college athletes who are going to come to Southern Virginia?
So honestly, it's really great to be in small classes that
Mm.
you can handle, that you can have that personal connection with your teachers, because it gives you more chances to learn efficiently, right? And to complete your work. And I feel like teachers in Southern Virginia are so patient, they're so loving, they're always willing to listen, they're always willing to work with you if willing to work with them.
Yep.
And so my learning experience in Southern Virginia in the classroom has been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I love my teachers, all of them that I have the chance to work with them. It's been an amazing experience. So I feel like the key to be a successful student, a successful athlete, is to have your personal, let's just say, study whole time, right? Setting apart 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, which is very difficult to do because you're a full-time student, right? You're either taking a bunch of classes in the morning and you have practice,
Practice.
then you have to go to weights, right? So you have this schedule that goes boom, 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 boom. So you have to make sure that you find that little time to get your work done every day, even if it's a little bit every day. And I feel that's what has helped me to not fail any classes and to get good grades. I was really surprised when I made the Provo at least last semester. It's like, oh my gosh, look at me getting a 3.8 GPA. Hey, it's
Putting
like,
in the
man,
work.
I'm putting in the work. It works. So it was really exciting to see that, and to be able to kind of transition that into during the season, which is a little more difficult, right? Because we're
Mhm.
playing a lot, we're traveling a lot. So yeah, I feel that's the key to be a successful student and athlete, just to kind of make the time and to strive to be consistent with it.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And regarding, aspiring young baseball players specifically looking to pursue a career, in collegiate baseball, what do they have to expect? What are maybe some roadblocks that they might have to watch out for? Things like that coming forward.
Yes, man, it's a beautiful blessing, honestly. And the friends that you develop, the friendships, are probably the best thing ever. Because I have so many friends
Hmm.
that have just stepped up. It's like, hey, Marcy, let me help you with your homework. Let me kind of give you a hand, give you a hint on how to get it done and everything. And everybody in Southern Virginia, amazingly speaking, they're so willing to help. I honestly, I'm surrounded by the most kind-hearted people,
Perfect.
student wise
Yeah.
and professors. It's unbelievable. It's pretty amazing to see that. You don't find that everywhere else.
Hmm.
And I've been through a few different schools,
Right, right.
so so I can tell the difference.
No, yeah, that's awesome, and that's good to hear, especially for the athletes looking to attend, Southern Virginia, to have that on campus and around you, and teammates and coaches, goes a long way for, that's kind of one of the recruitment tools I would assume for SVU. But kind of going through, your pregame rituals just to get to know you better. Do you have any superstitions, or do you put your left sock on before your right, or what's your go-to?
So I guess that I do have superstitions, if you will. I feel like pre-game when they're announcing the lineup and we're getting ready to play, I want to think about being extremely focused.
Mm,
And one thing I always want to do is to thank Heavenly Father for the opportunity to play, right? And in the Dominican Republic, we have this thing that every single Dominican player does. Everybody talks about it because it's very common. Everybody sees it, and
mhm.
we all go like this. And we
Right,
always
right.
point towards the heavens, and it's a very very Dominican thing.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I do it so unconsciously that I don't even realize that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And before I step to the plate, you will see me doing this. It's like, hey, what is he doing? Is he doing the cross thing? Like, it's a Catholic now. So it's not necessarily that, but I feel like it's so ingrained in our culture that whatever you do, you put it in Heavenly Father's hands.
Hmm.
That to me, that's become kind of my ritual in what I do. That is pretty much a superstition that says I am ready to go. It's
Got it.
time to cook.
Yeah. It's kind of, yep.
So it kind of gives me that mental focus that it's time to go. It's time to focus. There's no time to play around. It's all business from now on, and you will always see me doing that. And every time I hit a home run, every time I round third base, and I shake my coach's hand, I look up to the heavens. I do the same thing, and I feel like it just sets the tone.
Yep.
And the guys, like some of the guys see that and they're like, Marcy, like, man, like, why do you do that? And it's like, man, I'm Dominican. What can I say? so so it's become that little thing that I do. But there's so many other things that go into my preparation as an athlete. I feel like my mornings are so important. I'm a morning person.
Mhm.
I get up early and I say my prayers. And the first thing I do, I try to set apart 5-10 minutes just to kind of meditate and just to kind of think a little bit and breathe in, breathe out. And that helps me just, set the tone for my day, have a clear mind of what do I want to do, what do I want to accomplish. And it honestly feels really, really great. I don't know if you've done it, of any of those
Mhm.
people who actually do this every morning. They know how it follow the break time. It's like keep it simple and just do what you can do.
Yeah.
So
No, that's awesome. And then is just to get to know you a little more for the fans and all the listeners and whatnot, who's your MLB team that you're cheering for this year? And who you call it now before it gets too late into the season.
so my favorite team is the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
So that's my favorite team, and they won the World Series a couple of years ago. And my favorite player is also from the Atlanta Braves, which is Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yep.
So it's he won the MVP last year, right? Had over 60, I think it was 70 stolen bases, 40 plus home runs in the season. An unbelievable season, by far my favorite player. So man, it's I love baseball, especially when the Braves are playing. I'm
Yep.
always tuning in there. It's on, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, I'm all for it. So you got the Braves. Do you follow any other, I guess, sports, or are you just dialed into baseball?
I do watch basketball. I like it. I think basketball is a fun sport to watch. I mean, I grew up being a fan of the Lakers, watching Kobe play. Like
Mhm.
every kid in school is like, you have a
Piece
piece
of
of paper
paper.
and you go Kobe,
Yep.
and just try to make the pocket, right? So I'm a big fan of the Lakers in basketball, in football. I served my mission right in Baltimore, Maryland, and I
Okay.
served in Pennsylvania, right?
Mhm.
So in the Pennsylvania area where I was in Lancaster area, there were a lot of Eagles fans. So I think they turned me into an Eagles fan for football. So even though I don't watch a lot of football, But if the Eagles are in it, hey, Mark is gonna be watching some
Yep.
football tonight.
You're dialed in.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, that's been great. It's been great to kind of learn more a little bit about you and kind of your journey at SVU. And I'll give you the floor here, and maybe you can, wrap up and just talk about the legacy and you kind of hope to leave behind as a baseball player, both on and off the field.
Sure, man. I feel like one of the things that I people can see when they see me on the baseball field is I always having a smile. I'm always smiling. I'm the type of player who always say hi, hey, how you doing? To even to the opponent players, to the umpires, to the coaches down the lines, and it's just the energy that I bring. Some
Mhm.
people will tell you that I'm a high in energy. I'm all about energy and just sharing that high energy and high vibes and good vibes with all the people. So I feel like that's kind of the legacy I leave behind whenever I leave the field, whenever I take the field, whenever I walk into class, I say hi to my friends in campus, and I go to the weight room.
Mhm.
You can see that, you can feel that good energy. And if there is one thing I do want people to remember when it comes to being an athlete, being a student athlete more than anything, is that you have to focus on controlling the things that you can control.
Yep.
Work hard and have fun. Don't forget that at the end of the day, all that you're doing is playing a game. You're trying to win. You're trying to win with your family, your teammates, and when you win, is awesome. But when you lose, you have to stay together. You
Yep.
know, so I feel that's the main thing when it comes to playing sport, being a student athlete, just giving it all you got every day.
Yeah, well said. And that's perfect. Perfect way to wrap up our interview here. And thanks for listening and tuning in, everybody. And this has been another episode of the SVU Sports Show Athlete Edition. And make sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel and social pages. And we'll have more content like this so we can, promote the student athletes that are at Southern Virginia. And we got a lot of exciting things coming up. So thanks again, Marcy, for joining us today. And good luck in your, I guess, Final Four games. And we'll be watching and cheering you guys on.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you.